Yo, hello, what is up, you guys? Bison back here with another video. Is it time to sell? Is it time to leave, get out, leave the market? Let's just go, run, no, run away, sell, get out what you can. I would say otherwise, you know? Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So, with how the market has been recently, the bull market we've been in, for I would say a few months now. Obviously a lot of things have just trended upward like drastically, right? A lot of things have just shot up exponentially. Even newer sets in Scarlet and Violet, even those have been going up a lot quicker than than normal than other sets in the past have done, from Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, XY, whatever, right? Sword and Shield, you did have that whole Pokemon boom happen where that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, should you sell? Is it time to sell? Should you just get out while you can? Should you just take your profits? Well, it all comes down to you. How do you feel about the market? Or really, how do you feel about the investments you currently have? How much you're up by, or however much you purchased them for, and if you're ready to sell. So today we're going to look at a couple booster boxes that have gotten up a lot. That are obviously more on the newer end. So Surging Sparks, I mean, you were able to buy boxes. If you're the lucky few, you're able to still get them at 100. I was able to get mine at 120. For each booster box. Maybe you paid 130, 140. But at the end of the day, if you paid anywhere like sort of like the low hundreds, you're still up a pretty good amount in a short time span. And especially for a box that sells pretty frequently at like even at the price it's at, despite there obviously being reprints confirmed for Surging. Now that's the thing, we don't know specifically what or how much, but it's crazy because even with that announced, I mean, Surging did go up. It was like in the 240s, yeah, and it's finally broken that 250 barrier. So for Surging Sparks, we do have that going on. Evolving Skies. What more can I say about Evolving Skies? I mean, just look at where it was, a year ago, right? Look at where it was a year ago. Now look at where it's at now. Market price now is 1407, but just look where it's at. Literally in a little over 3 years, Evolving Skies went from being a 100, same thing like Surging, 100, 120, depending where you got it, box, all the way to basically 1400. Prismatic Evolutions, it's crazy because the cheapest one, literally like an hour ago, was like 103. Now it actually went below 100. So you do have this. I mean, hey, if you sold here, I mean, good for you. I mean, I guess you made profit, but Prismatic, obviously it's still new. Can't really say a whole lot about it, but I mean, hey, it did drop 30%. Fusion Strike, literally a box that no one wanted, just like Chilling Reign. It was, $80, 85, 90. Super cheap. Even afterwards, it was like stagnating in like the mid hundreds. It was like I remember Chilling and Fusion from one guy, one big seller. He had them up for like 108, 108 something for like a good while. A box like that went from that, well, let's look at a year. It went from here, 160, all the way to, I don't know why this isn't right, to 462. Most recent sale, 452. Lost Origin. It's not even that old. Lost Origin is literally what, like 3 years now? Like barely over 3 years? So Evolving, well, okay, wait, do I have my, wait, no. Lost Origin is a little over 2 years old. These were super easy. I remember you were able to easily get cases a few months after Lost Origins release on eBay from legitimate sellers, big sellers, for 600, or well, technically 599. So a box that was basically $100 went from that to where it's at now. Market price 3, but obviously it was 382, but now it's starting to come down a little, mostly. So it'll probably drop like around 330, 320, 330. 151. Oh man, I was buying cases on cases, anywhere from $50 to $55. So basically like 500, 550. That literally went from, let's see if it has, oh yeah, right here basically, yeah, because I remember I was still buying pretty sure I bought a few more cases last year. But yeah, basically in this, from here all the way to here. Last but not least, Paldea Evolved. No one want this. No one wanted it. I mean, when Scarlet and Violet first released, no one wanted this. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was this cheap. No one wanted this, and that doubled 190. So this is just a couple of sets that were stagnating, were fairly cheap not too long ago, and just completely exploded. Now, is it time to get out of the market? Well, hey, if you need the money and you don't really see yourself being able to hold this stuff for another year or 2 years, depending which sets you invested in, like I said, another year, 2-3 years, and you want to take those gains and you bought them cheap, hey, by all means go for it, take those gains. It's always good to take gains, and hey, you can use those gains to put it into a new set, right? Now if you're someone like me that you see some hidden potential in these sets that they haven't reached yet, I mean, Evolving Skies I am not selling. I don't care how many cases I have. I don't care what price. This is too low for Evolving. In my opinion, this is way too low, especially where Team Up's at. And I would argue Evolving has more demand and more better value than Team Up does. I mean, Team Up has the scarcity. Where Evolving is, too low for me. Too low for me. Definitely holding Evolving. For Surging, so let me see. Okay, so for Surging Sparks, yeah, Surging. I don't know why I thought this was a different one. So for Surging Sparks, I bought them half of what they're currently going for, of currently what market prices. Now, do I plan on selling them? I mean, hey, I could sell them, but for what Surging has to offer, and where I've seen Sword and Shield sets go to, hey, I'm willing to hold it for a couple years, because I definitely see Surging being, one of those boxes like Fusion, Lost, Chilling, even Brilliant being in like the mid 300s. I could just definitely see that. So I mean, it's not too far away from it, but yeah, Surging is just one of those boxes that I'm holding, and plus it's still new. Yeah, it could go down, stagnate, but at the end of the day, if I hold it for a good amount of time, it'll come out ahead than where it was before. So Prismatic too new. I don't even have anything. I'm just waiting for it to drop. It's already dropping. It's below 100. So for Prismatic, I mean, hey, it's coming down. If you have boxes and you have paper hands, you got them Butterfingers, and you're just getting way too worried. You don't know where it's gonna happen, the reprint, whatever. Sell it. Hey, if you bought it at retail, you basically doubled your money. Sell it. Now if you're someone that doesn't have a whole lot of positions or even a position at all, Prismatic, just wait. It literally has already dropped below 100, and like I've mentioned before, if you're looking locally, you could probably find some ETBs for $90 or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of the kind of what I would say for Prismatic. And then obviously for 151, hey, 151, it's a wild card. It has a nostalgia. It's definitely like, I mean, look at Generations. Look at okay, well, I would say look at Generations, but there's, on the other hand, Generations wasn't even printed that much. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Generation ETBs are like anywhere from 500 to 600, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're up there. 151 is basically what Generations like, but like fully completed. Basically. So this is like a true, like, obviously X and Y had a lot of like, kind of remasteries of like, obviously base set. I mean, you did have Flashfire, Generation, Evolution, just a whole bunch of Charizards and all that stuff. 151 literally has everything. And this is literally remastery done right. Right? Like literally, there's so many, like, it's always just the same old base set, just with the stamp, just a different, like, this is literally 151 done how it should have been. New artwork, beautiful artwork. So like, hey, I don't want to cause any FOMO or whatever. I mean, I bought these, like I said, 50 to 55 in ETB, but for what 151 has to offer and where some of the older ETB, because like I said, demand, if a set has demand, I mean, Crown Zenith is proof. It had that demand and it ate through all that supply. 151 also has a demand, and it's a set that a lot, like any collector, doesn't matter what age, that you started collecting or what time frame you does. This is a set that anyone can get into because it literally has the original 151, and without a doubt, almost everyone likes the original 151. Okay, there might be like a few that be like, nah, I like Gen 6 better, or I'm not a fan, but overall, pretty much everyone loves 151. This is a set that I'm going to keep holding. Just the run that I've seen it done. Hey, it could come down. It could, maybe a reprint comes, whatever. But technically speaking, I think this year will make it. Will it make it? No. Would it make it 2 years old? Yeah, it'll make it 2 years old this year. And when did it come out? September? I don't remember. But for what the set has to value or has to offer, honestly, I'm willing to hold it for a couple of years because I really like see the hidden potential for 151. And I remember in a live stream I was watching with Pokemart and Nomics, there's that question of which would be better in the two. I think in the long run or something it was between Prismatic and 151. Nomics said I think Nomics said 151 and Pokemart said Prismatic, or was it hold up, was it with Pokemart or was it, no, I think it was, I don't remember who said what, but no, hold up, let me, I'm pretty, Nomic said 151, Pokemart said Prismatic because of the evolutions and everything, but like I said, I don't remember if it was with Pokemart or if it was with Pokeplumber. I'm pretty sure it was Pokemart, but anyways, so there was that, and a lot of people in the comments, they were saying 151 because it has a nostalgia. It has, look, it's hard to say which of the two is better because you can argue for both sides, but I mean, 151's older. It does have the nostalgia. It just does. It has a nostalgia factor, and if you look at like over the years, just proof over the years that you've seen of pretty much every set that tries to do like a remaster of like base set or whatever, they've all done good. Even if the cards aren't crazy valuable, the sets have always done good and they always have demand. That's why with 151, I'm just I would say like I'm ecstatic. Like I'm really like I want to see the potential for it, and that's the thing. I don't want to miss out. There's been times over the years where I've missed out on so many like just amazing opportunities. This is something where I don't know why. I just feel like 151 the coming years. Hey, we could see something good with it. Like I said, it's common downturn, stagnation for like a decent while, then whoosh, explosion. So I mean, we're Hidden Fates is that. I mean, Hidden Fates was getting crushed. I mean, like I said, who knows what we can end up seeing for 151. So I know I went on a whole tangent about 151, but 151, if you're someone that bought it at, let's say, 40, 45, 50, and you want to realize those gains for the new sets, Journey Together, Team Rocket, all those newer sets, then yes, this is something that would probably be more better to sell. Now, it's really up to you if you want to sell everything, sell half, and keep the other half, sell some, keeps, whatever, it's really up to you. Honestly, for 151, I would say, personally, sell some, keep some, but me personally, I'm not selling. I'm keeping all of it. Then obviously Paldea Evolved, doubled on Paldea. If you bought these at 80, Paldea, I feel like is one of those sets that it's gonna do good later on, but I feel like there's gonna be some stagnation, some slowdown. So for Paldea to be like in the mid 200s, close to 300, it's gonna take some time. So hey, if you're someone that's able to hold it for that, for that time frame, then I would say, hold it because hey, I mean, let's say you sell Paldea what it's currently at. I mean, let's say you bought them at 80 and you sell 180, but then you want to get more Paldea, you're not going to be able to find them cheap anymore. That's all I'm going to say. So for me, that's one thing. I have no positions with Paldea, funny enough. I don't know why. It's just Paldea, like, I'll say it. I was one of those people, like, early. It's because Scarlet and Violet, like, the base it was just, I did not like it. I was like, dude, what? Like, I was like, I don't know. I just can't. When Paldea came out, I just wasn't really paying attention. I didn't get any. Now, if there's like a good opportunity to pick up some, let's say it goes to like we end up having that downturn and it drops like a little lower from where it's at right now. Yeah, I'll pick up a few cases. So Paldea has also done very well, but like I said, same thing. Sell some, keep some. If you want to have some capital ready in case we got those bigger sets coming up. Hey, that's what we could do. But yeah, pretty much my plan for all these sets, I'm just keeping them all. For Prismatic, like I said, I mean it's too new to say anything. I don't even have positions, but I'm not gonna buy any right now. I'll just wait for it to come down a little more. But when it comes to other sets, Fusion Strike, I mean, Fusion Strike did go up a lot. Now, like I said, if you're someone that wants to get in, you want to sell at this price. I mean, I would say Fusion Strike. I mean, it is like I see the potential for Fusion, but if you sell it right now, I wouldn't say, it would be like a huge loss. Same thing. Oh look, oh no, never mind. I thought I was here, but same thing. You know, if you want to sell some, keep some. Same thing for Lost Origin. So it's a little bit more newer. I would say if you were able to sell a little bit on the higher end, hey, you did good. Evolving Skies, this is one set. I'm gonna make a whole separate video. This is one set that I would say just keep it, like hold it, unless you need it, but hold it because you're gonna regret it if you sell it right now. That's one thing I'll say. Because Evolving, it has terrifying potential. The sets that I would say I don't really see much because Surging obviously we have that reprint, so there's a good chance that this might come down. So hey, if you want to sell some, then end up getting more for cheaper, hey, you do that. So pretty much overall, you don't really have to worry. I mean, yeah, we're in a bull market. Typically, for any markets, it's gonna skyrocket, and then we're gonna have a downturn, stagnation, maybe a little bit more of a crash. But like I said, if you're someone that pretty much at the end of the day, when it comes to whether you should sell or not, it's really up to you. If you bought all this stuff cheap, you want to realize some gains. Maybe you have some things you need to do in your everyday life, or you just want to have a good amount of capital set aside for maybe some deals on older sets, whatever. Hey, by all means, sell that, and if you can put your money to make better returns somewhere else, or you just see a better vision in another set, hey, by all means do it. If you're already making a good return, hey, take it. Now, if you're someone that obviously bought any of these sets recently, then you're gonna have to hold, unless you're willing to sell for what you paid, if not, at a loss, which wouldn't really make much sense. But yeah, at the end of the day, it just really comes down to you. Now, if you're someone like me that got all these sets cheap, you got them low, and you're kind of just deciding what to do. I mean, for me personally, I'm still going to be holding for a couple years, because a lot of these sets have not reached their full potential, and obviously I haven't even pulled up, most of the sets. I mean, Crown Zenith's a good example. I mean, imagine I would have sold off all my Crown Zenith cases of ETBs. Imagine I would have just sold those off at like 70 because I'm like, oh wow, they finally broke 70. They were stuck at in the 50s, 60s for so long. Oh my gosh, finally, I'm just gonna sell right now. And then fast forward a little bit later and they're over 100. That's what I'm saying, is like, you really don't know. There really is the one thing I'm going to leave you guys with. There's really no right time to sell, or is it time to sell, or should you sell? It really comes down to you. Obviously the time you should sell is if like 110% that a hard crash is coming and the recovery is going to take years or something, right? But obviously, that's there's like a very slim chance of that even happening. So it really just comes down to you. There really is no right time to sell, or it really comes down to you, because at the end of the day, no one can predict where a set's going to go, how low, how high, and how many years. No one can make those predictions. So it really just comes down to you, whatever you feel like, hey, the box has reached a number that I'm comfortable with selling, and a price that I'm going to emphasize, a price that you wouldn't regret like selling at. So let's say it gets to a whole nother price, you don't want it to be like, man, I should have kept them. Like, you want to sell at a price where like, hey, If it does go up, I'm happy at where I sold it. You know, I'm good at what I sold. I'm set. So, you know, with a lot of these sets, it really just comes down to you. For me personally, I'm holding all of them. But the one set I will say, if you're able to hold it, Evolving Skies, hold it. Like, this is going to be a set of the time. Like, hold it. Do not sell it. I mean, even if you bought it at $100, don't sell it. If you have to, or you're $100 to 1,400, hey, that's really good. And if you're good with those gains, hey, make that play. Like I said, put your money somewhere else that will work better for you, or you want to capitalize on some older sets or whatever it is. It's your decision. But me personally, I'm holding my boxes because Evolving Skies it has terrifying potential, so I'll probably make another video on it. But anyways, I know it was a little bit of a tangent, but a little bit of a longer video. But at the end of the day, there is no right time to sell, but it really comes down to you, and if you're happy with the gains you'll be receiving, and or whatever other needs you might have to sell for, if you want to like have more capital set aside for when the downturn does hit, whenever that happens, or you want to buy some older sets, or you want to have it set aside for the newer sets coming, it really comes down to you. So, but as far as I'm seeing, I mean, I don't really see any reason as to why, like, any immediate, like, oh no, you have to sell, everything's going to zero. Like, no. We're gonna have that downturn. We're gonna have some storms, some rough waters, but that's normal. That's if you've been in the hobby for years, that's normal. So, like I said, it all comes down to you. Me personally, I'm holding all my stuff still. But like I said, if you can, hold Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies, I think we're gonna see something spectacular with it in the future. That's all I'll say. That's just my opinion. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to drop a like, comment, and a sub. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And with that, bye for now.